Because it's still quite early in the day, the sunlight's not that bright, so I'm going to have to leave my camera out for a while, probably about a minute and a half to get a picture. So I'm going to place one down here. Placed my 3 cameras in different spots, and they're going to expose to the light for about 1.5 minutes. I've collected my 3 boxes and I'm going to take them inside now. Notice that I have the pinhole covered so that the pictures don't get exposed to the light any longer. The next step is to take the paper out of the box. So I open up the box and I take the paper out. You need to be in your darkened room for this, and you place that paper into the caffeinol solution. That will make the image start to appear. The chemicals in that are reacting with the light sensitive paper to make the image appear. And the third one. Your eyes will adjust to the dark, so don't be too worried about it. Now the caffeinol is a little bit smelly, it just smells a little bit coffee, but not nice coffee. So we just move around or agitate these pictures in the solution, and the image should start to appear within seconds really, but it depends on how successful you've been. Any troubleshooting might be that if the picture is way too dark, it means that it's been exposed to too much light, because this will be a negative image. Okay, so if it's way too white on the paper, then it hasn't been exposed to enough light. If nothing has really come up, then there's a problem with the pinhole camera itself. Alright, so I'm seeing some images come up, which is great because this is my first attempt. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. It's my first attempt with this solution today, and I haven't done it since last year, so it's always a gamble when you do it first, just to make sure that the solution's all working. I've only got half the quantity of solution at the moment because I'm only doing it myself. The solution doesn't last very long, so it has to get remade. The next step is to place the image into some water just to rinse off the caffeinol. You'll notice when you turn the lights back on that the water solution starts to get a little bit brown because it's taken on some of the caffeinol that you've rinsed off of it. So just to rinse it off quickly, I'm not sure if you can see some of the images. You can see some of the images in there. The next step is to put it into the stop bath. What that does is it stops the light sensitivity. It washes it off basically, so that it stops being sensitive to the light. All right, leave it in there for just a little while, maybe a couple of minutes, I'd say, for best results, because it needs to stop and wash off all of that sensitivity. From the stop bath, I've put them into a rinse just to get some of that vinegar solution off. And next step is to place them into the salt water. And the salt water acts as a fixer, so it should fix the image on. Now the idea is that because we're not using harsh chemicals, we're just sort of using household things, that the salt will take a lot longer to fix the image on than the harsh chemicals. So you could leave this in the salt water for hours to get best results, even up to 24 hours. The only problem is because I made this salt water, I didn't get it from the sea, it will start to crystallise in a couple of days, so it's probably not best to leave it in there unless you want crusty salt on your photography. The resulting images have been quite successful. They still have a little bit of a sort of a warmish tinge to them, which can either be because I didn't wash off enough of the light sensitivity in the stop bath, or it could just be tinted from the caffeinol, which is quite brown.